Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another edition of Wildcats Weekly here at West 11 Sports Media. I'm Cody West, along with Keith Logan. Keith, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Well, Keith, the Littlefield Wildcats varsity baseball team, getting right to it, is the by-district champions after a big win over Sanford Fritch in a best 2 out of 3 series. The Wildcats swept the Eagles. Game number 1 was held last Friday at Fritch. Littlefield wins that game 10-0 in 5 innings. And then game number 2 was held on Saturday at 12 noon in Littlefield, and the Wildcats won that game by a final score of 12-2. That was called in 6 innings by virtue of the mercy rule. Littlefield looking very strong, not only headed into the playoffs, but coming out of the by-district round.
Yeah, they definitely looked very strong. They were able, the pitching looked very good. Bryson Callaway, through game 1, and then Nate Herrera had a very strong performance in game 2, and also the bats came alive also too. A lot of timely hits. We were able to clear the bases and was able to put 10 runs up on them. Game 1, but we had to extend that game 2. Sanford Fritch was able to get 2 runs and kind of extend the game out a little longer than we wanted to, but we still were able to. Mercy rule came into effect.
Yes, sir. Taking a look at the box score from game number 1, it was scoreless through the first 2 innings. If you remember, going into the 3rd inning, the score was 0-0, and that's when the Wildcats exploded to score 10 runs in the next 3 innings. But the Wildcats did score 3 runs in the 3rd inning, 3 runs in the 4th inning, and 4 runs in the 5th inning. Overall, in game number 1, Wildcats scored 10 runs on 12 hits. They only committed 1 error, and we left 7 runners stranded on base. Individually for the Wildcats, Bryson Callaway pitched all 5 innings of that first game. He only faced 17 batters in 5 innings. He threw 63 pitches. He earned the shutout victory, giving up 1 hit, striking out 5 batters. At the plate, Littlefield was led by cleanup hitter Seth Hartley in that game, who was 3 for 4 batting. He had 3 singles. He had 4 runs batted in and 1 run scored. Nathan Hobbs in that game was also 2 for 3 at the plate with 2 singles, 1 RBI, and 3 runs scored. John Castillo was also 2 for 3 at the plate with 2 singles and 2 runs scored. So leading the way on the mound was Bryson Callaway. Leading the way at the plate, Seth Hartley, Nathan Hobbs, and John Castillo, and you like to see that.
Seth Hartley, definitely the cleanup batter, did his job. I mean, that's why he's in that 4 hole to clear the bases, and he did a great job doing that in game 1.
Taking a look at game number 2, of course, it was here in Littlefield at Wildcats Field. We had a great crowd. The home side there was completely packed full of Wildcat fans. The weather was nice. It was a little bit breezy, but it was good. We had a class reunion going on, so the class of 66 got treated to a Wildcats victory that day. It was a really good day for baseball, hosting the playoff game, and the Wildcats fans came out. Littlefield started off differently in game number 2 than we did in game number 1. Like I mentioned, it was scoreless through 2 innings in the first game. In the second game, we came out in the bottom of the first inning and scored 4 runs. Then we came out in the second inning and scored 1. We put 5 runs on the board in the 3rd inning, and then we didn't score any runs in the 4th or 5th innings, and then scored 2 runs in the 6th inning, and the game was called then 12-2. Nate Herrera, like you said, went the distance on the mound in game number 2. He faced 26 batters. He threw 84 pitches. He only gave up 2 runs. Neither of them were earned, so he had an ERA of 0. He struck out 5 batters and only walked 2, did Nate Herrera. He did give up 7 hits, but the Littlefield defense was there.
Yeah, like you said, the infield played great that game. And we also had some good outfield play by John Castillo. Jeremiah Molina in center field had a couple great plays also. And then also Seth Clayton kind of shored up that right side of the field. And, not a whole lot of balls dropped in. And it didn't allow for Sanford Fritch to get a lot of momentum going.
Yes, sir. And Nate also led the way at the plate for the Wildcats in addition to pitching the complete game. Nate Herrera was 3 for 5. All 3 hits were doubles. He had 2 runs batted in and scored 2 runs. We had 6 other players that had 1 hit each in that second game. Nathan Hobbs, Bryson Callaway, Seth Clayton, Brian Acevedo, Jet Hartley, and John Castillo all hit safely in game number 2. But it was Nate Herrera who had those 3 big doubles at the plate for the Wildcats.
Yeah, so everybody was seeing the ball. 1 through 9 was able to see the ball and make good contact, and that's all you can ask for moving in the by-district and then moving forward in the playoffs.
Yes, sir. So it was a convincing victory for the Wildcats in the sweep of Sanford Fritch for the by-district championship. That sets up a matchup with Idalou. The Littlefield Wildcats will play Idalou in a 1-game playoff for the area championship. That game will be played this Friday at 7:30 p.m. at Wayland Baptist University in Plainview. So it's a one-game playoff with Idalou for the area championship. That will be this Friday again at 7:30 p.m. at Wayland Baptist University. Of course, you and I will be there here at West 11 Sports Media with all the play-by-play action at west11sports.com and on our free mobile app as well. You can listen to the Littlefield versus Idalou game this Friday, 7:30 at Wayland Baptist University. In the area round, if you remember last year, it was a best 2 out of 3 victory for the Wildcats in the area round over Idalou that kind of served as a springboard for Littlefield to send us through the playoffs into the state championship.
Yeah, like you said, basically after we were able to beat Idalou, that was, they kind of beat us the year before that, and it kind of, derailed our season. But once we were able to get past Idalou last year, kind of, like you said, springboarded us to, make that long push to the state tournament. So hopefully this, once again, whoever gets past this game, maybe have a great opportunity to have a long push in the playoffs.
I think so too, Keith. And you and I will be there with a play-by-play broadcast. You can hear it right here at west11sports.com. Shifting gears to softball, the Littlefield Lady Cats were eliminated from the Class 3A softball playoffs last weekend versus a very tough Alpine team. That's the same team that the Lady Cats lost to last year. The Lady Cats go down to Midland this time. We lost in 2 games, swept out of the playoffs by a very good team from Alpine.
Yeah, we just basically the Lady Wildcats just ran into a buzzsaw. Alpine is just a very good program. Last couple of years they've been able to have long runs in the playoffs, and we just ran into a team right now that a program probably just a little bit better than we are, but I'm sure that we're going to get better. And then, like Coach Clark says, I think their motto this year, if you build it, they will come. And I believe that they're definitely building a great program here in Littlefield that's going to help us get past the bi-district round and move, start having deep runs in the playoffs for softball.
Yes, sir. And the thing is about playing a team like Alpine, number one, these Lady Cats, I don't want to say they overachieved, but they were able to accomplish the goal of winning bi-district, even with the deck stacked against them. After losing game number 1 of the bi-district round, they came back and won those 2 games against Sanford Fritch. But the thing is, you go down and play an Alpine team, and that tells you where you want to be. It kind of playing a team like that is good experience, especially for the girls coming back, because it shows you the kind of ball club that you want to be. So the Littlefield Lady Cats, of course, have 4 seniors who have played their final game in the maroon for the Lady Cats softball team. 4 young ladies that have come up through the program and really carried this thing and were part of a bi-district championship last year. Also helped lift that bi-district trophy again this year. The 4 seniors on the team, of course, Luz Fernandez, Sasha Camacho, Nikki Lopez, and Guadalupe Garcia, the 4 seniors for the Lady Cats. And Keith, just if you will, talk about the job they've done. They've, of course, part of this program, and I think they deserve a lot of credit for the success that the program is having right now.
Yeah, they definitely, laid a good foundation for these players that are coming up, the underclassmen, and so we're losing a lot of talent with these 4 seniors that are leaving. 3 of them are starters in the infield, and then 1, from what I understand, is definitely a kind of a morale booster in the dugout. So we're definitely going to have to replace those key pieces, and hopefully they'll come out and support Lady Wildcats next year and kind of, give their expertise if they need be.
Yes, sir. So congratulations to Coach Clark and each member of the Littlefield Lady Cats on an outstanding softball season as it comes to an end. Shifting gears once again to track and field, the Littlefield Lady Cats are headed to Austin later this week for the UIL State Track and Field Championships at the Mike A. Myers Track and Field Complex on the campus of the University of Texas at Austin. Lady Cats, of course, finished in 2nd place as a team at the regional championships and hoping to do some big things in Austin at the state track meet. Taking a look at the schedule, the Littlefield High School athletes that will be competing, Kaylee Edgman will compete in the discus throw this Thursday, May the 12th at 6:30 p.m. That's when the girls' discus throw for 3A will be this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Edgman is currently seated 4th in the discus at this time with her qualifying throw from regionals. So Kaylee, if she wants to medal, is going to have to gain some ground on at least somebody there. But, she's no stranger to the state track meet. I think she's going to do very well.
Yeah, this is kind of one of the things. The main thing I think what she want to do is just get there, and then now she can definitely improve on her placement.
Yes, sir. Another athlete that is competing in an individual event is LaTanya Jones, and she's not only competing in one, but she'll be in 2 events at the state track meet. LaTanya will compete in the long jump at 2 p.m. this Friday, May the 13th. She's currently seated 5th in the long jump. She'll then run the 100-meter dash at 7:05 on Friday evening, and she is seated 8th in the 100-meter dash. The girls' 4x100-meter relay, the 400-meter relay, also known as the sprint relay, comprised of De'Erica Smith, Deanna Smith, Kaylee Edgman, and LaTanya Jones, with alternates Tyra Griggs and Courtney Parker, will run on Friday, May the 13th at 6 p.m., and the Lady Cats are seated 8th in the sprint relay. So those young ladies I know are going to try to gain some ground as well and hopefully come up with their best time in the sprint relay.
All this week they've been practicing, trying to work on their handoffs, and hopefully that they have very smooth handoffs and possibly contend for a medal.
Yes, sir. Now, for those that may not be able to go and support the Lady Cats, of course, you and I will be at the baseball game probably. There's a lot of other people that would like to go that will not be able to. The UIL does provide a video stream. However, you have to pay for it. But you can subscribe. You just go to www.nfhsnetwork.com, and then you can watch the UIL State Track and Field Championships. There is a paid subscription. I think it's $10 for a day or maybe $15 for the whole month. Yeah. So you can go online, subscribe there, and you can watch the UIL State Track and Field Championships right there online. So for those of you that want to see how the Lady Cats are doing or just watch a good track meet, there's some great kids from all over the state of Texas competing at this thing. I love it. Never been to it personally, but I just used to. You could watch it online for free.
Yeah.
You didn't have to pay for it, but now they do charge. But I used to watch that thing every year. It's really, for me, a really exciting event and probably one of the best high school events in the country. Track
is doing exactly what they did in basketball. I actually subscribed to it and saw the basketball game, so it's a very good feed. It's live, but I don't. I mean, like you said, it's about $10, $20 for the whole month, for the whole year, or whatever. And it's a good product. Check it out and see the Lady Wildcats possibly bring home some state championship.
Yes, sir. So we talked softball, baseball, track and field. Anything else before we head out today?
No, sir.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll get to do this again next week and talk about a big Wildcats victory in the area championship versus Idalou and talk about some young ladies that did very well at the UIL State Track and Field Championships next week. So want to remind everybody, be sure and download our free mobile app. All you have to do is go to your app store, whether you have an iPhone or a Droid device, tablet, doesn't matter. Go to your app store, download West 11 Sports Media, and you can listen to the games and much more. Very excited. One thing I want to mention also about West 11 Sports, we have picked up some new schools, one of which is Grape Creek down at the San Angelo area. We were excited to be able to broadcast their by-district games in baseball this past weekend here at west11sports.com, and unfortunately they didn't win. They went to a third game. It was very exciting, but West 11 Sports Media is now your home for Grape Creek Eagles and Lady Eagle sports. Of course, Grape Creek is a 3A school, just like Littlefield. Plays 3A Division I in football, just like Littlefield, but it's down in the San Angelo area, so we're very excited about that.
Yeah, very excited about that. I listened to that broadcast, that baseball broadcast. They did a great job down there in San Angelo. Grape Creek broadcasters, Brock and Sterling, did a great job.
All right, Keith. Appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you again next week.
Yes, sir.
That's Wildcats Weekly here at West 11 Sports Media. I'm Cody West. Make it a great week, everybody.